Accessories in Identity 5 are quite cool and neat. Some of them add pizzazz to your Survivors' model, while others literally change the visual aesthetic of your Survivors' skill. And today, we're going to make some. Uy, kumusta? Ako si Percy and I made 5 different accessories for 5 different survivors in Identity 5. We've talked about accessories in Identity 5 in the past, but instead of criticizing some of the accessories we already have in the game, why not do something constructive and make some of my own? So that's what I did. That's what I've been doing for the past week and I can't wait to share them all to you. I have made an accessory for each survivor role. Plus 1 wildcard, meaning I get to choose one of the 4 roles again. I was thinking of making the wildcard a hunter accessory, but I think that's an idea that deserves a video of its own. Disclaimer before this video, I'm not an artist in any way. I have basically no drawing nor animation experience. So if you look at my work and think, hey, this kinda sucks, please cut me some slack. Anyway, let's start with Number 1. Cup of Instant Ramen. An A-class accessory for my favorite survivor, the prisoner. Its description reads, "The cold winter breeze passes through my prison cell. It has been years since I've felt the warmth of my home, but the heat radiating from this cup of noodles comforts me momentarily." Now you may be scratching your heads in frustration. Percy, why would a prisoner want some stale instant noodles? The rationale behind this accessory idea came from an episode I watched in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. TLDR, instant ramen is a very valuable item in modern day prisons. So much so that it's considered as valid currency amongst inmates. I thought it would be fitting to add a ramen accessory for our very own jailed rascal. I proposed that this accessory changes 3 things for the prisoner. Number 1, I think it should change the faint visual effect of connections between cipher machines. Instead of the standard blue electric effect, the effect should change into a yellow noodle strand effect. Wouldn't it be fun and goofy to see 2 cipher machines connected via strands of noodles? That would look awesome. Number 2, I think this accessory should change the electrocution active skill of the prisoner. Instead of the blue lighting effect radiating from his body, a sonic boom of noodles and soup immediately exits his body when you click this skill. 3. I think it should change the field of electricity generated when you're decoding a connected cipher machine. Instead of the boring blue effect, ripples of soup and noodles appear under your feet, while faint effects of steam and bubbles replace the lightning effect we see in this field from time to time. The recent accessory for the prisoner is kinda underwhelming. It's very similar to the base effects, the only difference is that now it has mathematical inscriptions. That's why I made this accessory. All in all, I'm really proud of how this accessory turned out. And will you buy this accessory if it was real? Tell me in the comments below. Number 2. Hive Mind Youngling. A cute extraterrestrial S-class accessory for the Entomologist. Its description reads, "Something crash-landed next to one of my research sites deep in the forest. It's a small, sophisticated aircraft, possibly not from this planet. I wonder what's inside." For those of you wondering, a hive mind is a science fiction alien entity or collection of entities that has unified consciousness with all of its members. An example that I can think of is your fingers. They're different fingers, yes, but they only move when your mind commands them to move. Obviously, hive minds aren't real, so the next best thing in the real world is, well, bees. Though there are a lot of bees, they only obey one mind, their queen. So I think it would be super appropriate for the bee girl to have this accessory. There are 2 visual effects that I think this accessory would change from base Entomologist. Number 1, the swarm effect. Instead of spawning your usual swarm of insects and bees when you click on her entomology skill, she would instead spawn a floating blob filled with cosmic dust. The dust will resemble a galaxy filled with stars, comets, planets, and other celestial bodies. I think the base design of the swarm is generic and uninspired. That's why I think replacing the effect with something like this will convince anyone to become an entomologist main. 2. This accessory should change the goo Entomologist leaves behind when she vaults pallets and windows. Instead of the generic honey smeared on them, they get smeared by some exquisite galactic goo. This effect mimics the design of the swarm. It's a liquid that resembles a galaxy dripping from the pallets or windows. I thought it would be brilliant to create a cosmetic that gives cosmic galactic vibes. I love space, and it would be nice to see an accessory that focuses on that theme. Honestly, I think this accessory is out of this world. Will you buy this skin if you're an entomologist main? Let me know down below. Number 3. Shark Tooth Necklace. A cool tropical A-class accessory for our resident softie, the Gravedigger. Its description reads, "Something caught my eye in the cemetery. Something shiny. I found it on the ground. Someone probably dropped this while visiting their late loved ones. Nobody seems to look for it. Should I keep it?" You may be asking yourself, "Yo, Percy, what does a shark tooth necklace have to do with a Gravedigger, huh? That doesn't make sense." To which I say, yeah, you're right. I do know how this particular necklace relates to the Gravedigger in any way other than it being left behind by accident in the cemetery. But I promise it will make much more sense when you see the skill effects. When I was conceptualizing an accessory for the Gravedigger, it was really difficult to think of something. I mean, his only unique quality is that he burrows in the ground. And as a game designer, it's hard to make that effect flashy or cool, especially when your survivor is nowhere to be seen but underground. There's only one thing this accessory changes in the base effect of Gravedigger, and that is, when he burrows underground, he jumps as if he's diving into a body of water. When he's underground, a shark fin protrudes above the ground he's on. The ground around him will look like water, mimicking an actual shark moving across the ocean. I think this is cool in all the right ways, and it fits the Gravedigger's in-game effects. Imagine going for a save. You look like an apex predator tracking and hunting down fellow survivors you want to rescue. Andrew fanboys, do you guys think this idea is cool? Tell me if you buy this accessory in the comments below. Number 4. TARDIS key. A futuristic sci-fi S-class accessory for the undying Embalmer. Its description reads, "The universe is big. It's vast and complicated and ridiculous. And sometimes, very rarely, impossible things just happen. And we call them miracles." I made this accessory as a direct reference to the famous sci-fi series named Doctor Who. I've personally never watched it, though I do know a lot of things from it because of the internet. The description is a direct quotation from the series. Although I don't have any personal connection with the show, I think this accessory fits the Embalmer's skill like a glove. The accessory's design is heavily based on the key that unlocks the TARDIS. What's the TARDIS, you might ask? Well, that's the space-time traveling police box the Doctor uses in the show. Even if you've never heard of Doctor Who, you might be familiar with the TARDIS because it's just that iconic. This accessory changes 3 particular things in Embalmer's skill set. Number 1, it changes the overall 3D model of the coffin he raises in the game. It will be changed into a 3D replica of the TARDIS police box when he clicks this skill. There should be flashing yellow lights when the coffin is idle to add to that futuristic machinery vibes. Number 2, it changes the way Survivor vanishes from a rocket ship. Instead of a black goo consuming the Survivor in question, the Survivor instead dematerializes, kinda looking like they're being recalled to a mothership. They glitch around, they vibrate around, until they completely vanish into thin air. Number 3, it changes the way how the Survivor spawns in the TARDIS. The TARDIS shakes and flashes different colored lights, opens up, white smoke comes out of it before the Survivor is able to get out and move around again. I think this is a really cool idea. We need more sci-fi themes in the game if I'm being honest. Embalmer mains, do you guys think this is a good accessory concept for your main? I'll read the comments you leave down below. And finally, number 5. Hat of Tricks. A magical and mischievous S-class accessory for our favorite juker, the Magician. The description reads, "I did it! I finally did it! With my sheer magical prowess alone, I somehow managed to breathe life into my trusty tap pot. This is the living proof that I am the greatest magician in the world." Magician is my wildcard pick for this accessory list because, well, back in Season 1 when playable survivors were limited, Magician was the first ever character I wanted to make. I made him an accessory just to pay homage to my first favorite survivor. This accessory will only change one thing in the Magician's skill set, but with a twist. It will change the Magician's way of poofing into invisibility. The Magician will poof out of existence, leaving a puff of white smoke, after which a random effect will be triggered. I created 3 different animations that will get triggered at random. Number 1. A jewel of doves will appear. An illusion will be created after the smoke dissipates. I think this makes sense because it's the part of every magician's trick to summon a dove from seemingly out of nowhere. Number 2. A deck of cards will explode from the smoke. Decks of cards are the magician's best friend. People who do close-up magic love using cards as a part of their act. Number 3. Confetti. Slices of cake and balloons will exit the smoke. Although very, very uncommon, some magicians and magician clowns are often hired at kid birthday parties. This is a nod to that type of magician. This is a very ambitious accessory concept since it's nothing like we have in the game. Accessories only do one specific effect change and that's it. But this one is more fun because you will never know what effect you'll have when you click this skill. That's it. Those are 5 accessories in Identity 5 that I personally would love to see. I'm planning to make a video like this for Hunter accessories, but in order for me to do so, I need to know that you guys like this type of content. If we hit 300 likes in this video, I'll make one for the Hunters. Subscribe if you have the chance, and I'll see you all next week. Ingat!